What is going on, everybody? Ronzo here, and I'm here with two very special, awesome guests. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves. Whoever wants to go first.
Hello. Hello there, beautiful friends. It's Black and Fist. I'm glad to be here with Rhymestyle.
Alrighty, guys. It is Quaman here today. And I am bringing another Dragon Ball Z segment with Dino and Black and Fist. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into this video.
And today we're going to be talking about, obviously everybody knows that there is a new movie coming out. And, oh my god, it's very exciting, and I am literally just counting down on the calendar, waiting to see this movie, and I'm sure everybody else who's watching the video is too. But today we're going to mainly discuss the overall future for Dragon Ball Z, because this movie is not only going to affect the overall DBZ universe, but it's also going to affect the franchise in a specific way, and that's kind of like what we want to discuss here. So without further ado, how about we start with Quaman? What do you think is going to be the future of Dragon Ball Z after this movie comes out, and why?
Well, there's a lot to say. Now, because of the way Toriyama has organized the series in terms of having all these different quote-unquote multiverses, I think he's basically made the plot infinite at this point, because so many different things can happen. Now, how many things are going to be canon or manga canon, as Black and Fist would analyze later on, is another story, but I definitely think that because of the worst wish ever, we can probably expect an extra movie or two after this, including Beerus and Whis. I feel like Beerus and Whis are characters, if they don't get killed off, that are going to be around for essentially ever. As long as Dragon Ball Z exists.
I agree. Black Fist, what do you think?
Well, I was actually going to go in a kind of a similar vein as Quaman there, but I do think that, considering the fact that Battle of Gods did do good in its performance, that if this movie does do good, this new Frieza Returns movie does do good, then I'm pretty damn sure that we're going to get a third movie. Now, it's very interesting to think about what will Toei Animation and what will Akira Toriyama do if there comes a time when the third movie comes out and the third movie also is successful. What then? Will there be a fourth movie? Or some people even speculate there might be a new manga series or a new anime series. Obviously, I don't think it would be as long as what came before, but I'm saying maybe a shorter series could come. But obviously, there's gonna be a third movie if this movie's pretty successful. As terms for plot and inside plot, I mean, it's so hard to speculate considering the fact that, as Quaman mentioned, there's multiverses. But the whole thing the fact that 12 universes now exist within the Dragon Ball framework, the Dragon Ball universe. I mean, the whole theory about obviously, this is just, I'm just throwing this out there. There's been theories about what if the movies were alternate timelines or alternate universes. Well, with 12 universes out there that we have not seen before, that could actually work. Possibly within the framework of Dragon Ball, because they do exist now.
That's a good point. What I was going to say is, though, are you finished?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What I was going to say is, I don't think that the success is actually going to measure if there's going to be another movie. And the main reason why is because, I don't know if you heard, but this movie was actually in the works in 2012. And if you remember, Battle of Gods came out March 30th, 2013, last year. But he started Fukkatsu No F, Frieza Reborn, in 2012. And he first teased it when he went to a concert around that time, and he met with a band. I forget which band it was, and they inspired him.
It was I know exactly what you're talking about. He met with Maximum.
Yeah, it was them.
And he met them because they wrote a song about Frieza called F, which is a song I actually enjoy myself.
And when he was there with them, he drew them Frieza, and he autographed it with the logo for this movie. So, and also he wrote. He wrote like a teaser talking about Frieza's next transformation in that same day. So this movie was actually sort of in the works before Battle of Gods even came out. And I will say this, I think because of how successful Battle of Gods was and how it set up the future for Dragon Ball Z, it led to obviously the release of this next movie. But I feel like, you know, I wouldn't put it past them, but I feel like Toriyama already has something in the books. Already has something written down for what's next. Because he didn't open up the Infinite Universe in Battle of Gods for no reason. Like, he did that on purpose. Now, what I will say is I don't think we're going to get another manga or another anime because, from what I've heard,
that was exactly what I was just about to ask you. Like, so do you think, you know, why don't you think there's going to be a new series?
Well,
then?
mainly because by the time Toriyama finished Dragon Ball Z back in what it was 96 when he finished it, or late 90s. The rumor from his team was that he did not want to draw anymore because he was old. He was getting old, and he wanted to basically, you know, be done doing all the work. But he did say when it came down to doing Battle of Gods, he wanted to be involved in, you know, doing like the creative behind it, which essentially what Battle of Gods was. Like, basically his team did the art for everything else, but he kind of sat there calling the shots. Although I will say that, you know, for whatever reason he was inspired, he basically did all the work with Fukkatsu No F. But as far as doing another anime or manga, it's a lot of dedication, a lot of time, and unfortunately, Toriyama's getting old. I don't think he has it in him anymore to dedicate that much more resources of his life into doing another series. But I will say he will definitely do movies. I can definitely see another movie come out after this, probably in the next 2 years. And I can definitely see even more movies coming after that, because doing the movies is not as much work, not as much straining for his life, and it's just all around easier when you have a whole team rather than just, you know, you with your company focusing on putting out, you know, endless new chapters and new mangas. So on top of that, bringing back another series is also a lot of pressure. Like, think about it. As a Dragon Ball Z fan, here's the question I have for you guys. I want you both to answer one by one. Would you want another series? It's a real question.
I would be happy if Dragon Ball just ended as a whole as of right now, because Dragon Ball is such a large series as it is. But quite honestly, I wouldn't be you know, apprehensive to a new series. I would if a new series comes, if it does come, then I'll be pumped for it like everyone else. And that, you know, but I wouldn't mind if it ended just now. I mean, it's a long series as it is.
What about you, Clement?
I kind of have a weird opinion on this, because to be completely honest with you, and from a selfish standpoint, I'm sure Black and Fist already knows where I'm going to go with this. If Dragon Ball Z had an extended series, that would basically make our topic pool unlimited. But and same thing for you, Rhymestyle, but at the same time, I kind of agree with what you guys said. Like, the series is so long. Like, you gotta think, like, if you combine Ball and Z, and, you know, for people who want to accept GT, that's like literally, and all the movies, that's like more than 500.
And the OVAs and the specials.
And the specials, and like episode of Baryak, and all of that crap. That's so much content that it's like, I kind of don't mind the general story ending the way it is, but I would like to see more Dragon Ball Z, whether it be movies or little short excerpts. I think what would extend the series more is excerpts. Like, if we could learn more about, like, the Saiyans or, like, the Nameks, like, you know, before everything happened. I think that would be great, you know?
That would be awesome. And something else for that.
By the way, I actually wanted to comment on some of the things you said, Rhymestyle. I actually think that while it's true Toriyama is probably never going to get back in the seat of doing a intense long series again, I do think that you're underestimating the potential for a new series, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, because Toriyama is now in the position where he doesn't have to do all the backbreaking work. He's kind of high up there. So if let's say a new anime series comes out, like let's say a new 26-episode anime series comes out where Toriyama is just supervising and doing the creative direction and maybe even writing some of it, where it's not as intense, then I could completely see Toriyama doing something like that, considering the fact that he's already willing to go back into Dragon Ball as these movies, and even Jocko the Galactic Patrolman has shown. So I do believe that even though a new series is a little bit, you know, far-fetched, it's becoming less and less far-fetched as these new movies keep coming out.
You know what? You have a very good point right there. I'm not even going to argue with that. That's a good point. But here's, and this is gonna sound really weird to say as a Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball fan, period. I would not want a new series. I would not want one, and here's the reason why.
No. Actually, I respect that. I actually hear some people saying, you know, that here in that position as well.
Here's the reason why I would not want the series to continue. Like, I would love to see more excerpts, like Kwame said. I want to know the background to Saiyans. I want to know what happened to the original Super Saiyan God. I want to know a lot of stuff. You know, I would love to see that, whether it's in manga form or anime. I would love to see that. What I don't want is the series to continue, only because, like, to me, Dragon Ball Z was so perfect from start to finish. It was a great series. It was so, like, just perfect. With bringing in a new series, you risk the potential for overdoing it. Like, yes, have you guys ever played Assassin's Creed before?
Yeah, I've played all of them actually.
Well, some people already argue that happened with GT.
Well, GT is
Some people already said. Yeah. I mean, think about it. Toriyama ended the series, but it was so popular still, even after it ended, that Toei Animation went ahead and did GT, and you know, so a lot of people said that, you know, think that's a bad move.
That's actually right there. That's probably why I'm afraid of it, because when GT happened, like, so here's the thing: I did not hate GT, but I did not like GT. And when you compare GT to Dragon Ball Z, you automatically don't like it even more. And like my only fear is like if Dragon Ball Z continues the series, it wouldn't deliver. Like that's the thing. Let's look at Yu Yu Hakusho, for example.
You basically feel we're going to have another GT on our hands.
Not another GT. Just I don't think it'll be up to par. Like, I don't think up to standards. And on top of that, it's like, how much more powerful can, you know, people get? Like, how many times are we going to get another villain? Like, every single saga has always been like, oh my god, this is the most powerful person in the universe. And then now we're getting the movie. It's like, oh my god, it's the most powerful person in the universe. It's like, how many times are we going to get someone more powerful than before? But let's look at Yu Yu Hakusho for a second. Because I know you guys both watch Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho was an amazing series to me. It's probably one of my favorite animes of all time. My problem with Yu Yu Hakusho is it should have ended after the Dark Tournament. And I accept the Black Saga.
Oh, listen, Rhymestyle, I think me and Quaman are gonna disagree on you right there.
You guys like the ending?
Rhymestyle, have you ever seen my... I don't know if you know this, but I've made a good chunk of... I wouldn't say too many, but I've made a pocket full of Yu Yu Hakusho segments.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why I was bringing it up.
And I made a video specifically talking about what I think is the best saga. So
wait, before I continue, what's your favorite saga?
I don't want to spoil it for viewers, but
listen.
Let's just say it's not the Dark Tournament saga.
I'll say what my favorite saga is, because I really haven't talked about it. I've actually answered this in questions in Ask That or Film, but that's it. But my favorite saga, and by far the best part of the series for me, was the Sensui arc.
So I like the Sensui arc. I really liked it. But what I was gonna say is so Sensui's arc. The only problem I had with Sensui's arc is it was overdone. Like, they did certain things that it's like, why don't they just, like, you know, why, like, and I know that's how the author is. He like always like takes in that direction. He did the same with Hunter x Hunter. But like, my problem with ultimately what I was going to say about Yu Yu Hakusho was, I think the last chapter was awful. Like the Three Kings tournament, it was awful. It didn't really add much.
Because I'm sorry to add to cut you off, but there's a reason why, Dino. Because remember that the editor, I'm sorry, the creator, Yoshiro Togashi, stopped. Like, he literally like cut the series out there, and you know the show was supposed to extend a lot longer than what it was, but he kind of just had to finish it off for, like, you know.
Was it supposed to go on?
Yeah, it was. And
yes,
I never knew that.
The reason the author ended Yu Yu Hakusho, actually Yu Yu Hakusho was actually ended quite abruptly because
he was sick
of the author's health.
Yeah, I heard.
Exactly. He was.
I will say this: have you guys watched Hunter x Hunter?
No, but I know it's very similar.
I suggest you both check it out. Hunter x Hunter to me had a great ending because it didn't go into the next chapter because they're still finishing up the manga, and of course Yoshihiro took a break too, so he can, you know, get better. If he finishes it, they're gonna probably continue the anime. But the way they ended the anime for Hunter x Hunter right now, it was so perfect. I'm not gonna talk about it, but it was like a perfect ending, and I feel like Yu Yu Hakusho should have had an exact same ending. If that makes sense. But that's another anime. Like, my whole point is my fear is if Dragon Ball Z continues, there's that risk of overdoing it, overstretching it. Like Assassin's Creed was a great game series for the first 3 games, and then like next thing you know, they're doing Assassin's Creed 2.5, Assassin's Creed 2.75, Assassin's Creed 3.
I know exactly what you're saying because I heard this before. You know, like if you keep doing more and more Dragon Ball, the only time it's gonna end is when it starts getting really bad.
Yeah, and that's my fear. Like, and the other thing is people, and I don't know what you guys' favorite saga is, but Buu Saga to a lot of people is like the worst arc to Dragon Ball Z.
I did a video on that too.
Yeah, I like the Buu Saga. To me, the Buu Saga was great, but apparently not that many people liked it, especially since Gohan got ruined and stuff like that. Like it just. I want Dragon Ball Z to end as epic as it did, and that's kind of like my dilemma there. Now, of course, everybody watching this video, we want to hear your thoughts too. Like, do you guys want a new series, and why? Do you guys fear the possibility of there being another GT? Like, let us know in the comments below. But that's just how I feel.
I'd just like to say that I'm sure Black and Fist has been thinking about what you said the whole time, because you said you loved Dragon Ball Z's ending, and he has quite a different.
Well. I actually listen. Although I might not have liked the whole Oob part, I did actually enjoy the way they beat Majin Buu and that whole climax of the whole. Because the real climax of the series was not the 10 years after. That was not the real climax.
Yeah.
The real climax was when they beat Majin Buu and the way they did, and I thought that actually was a very fitting ending to the whole series, an epic ending. And quite honestly, Kwame, man, that's actually something that I might actually do a video in the future. That's something that's been on my mind. As I've said before, I've stated before that I don't think I like certain of the elements of the ending, Oob and everything. I definitely think that the whole ending of the Boo stuff was done very good.
I definitely think in terms of manga, I think we should maybe cover this part before you end the video. Do you guys see a possible extension of the manga?
That
I don't know why I think this, but maybe it's because they're doing movies and because manga. See, the thing is, I actually think if there's going to be a new series, it's going to be a new anime series, not a new manga series.
I agree,
and the reason I say that is because of what I said before with Toriyama. I don't know if Toriyama is willing, because if there's a new manga series, that's going to be done by Toriyama himself. You know what I mean? He won't, unless, of course, he gets someone else to draw for him, which that could happen. But it'll have to be Toriyama himself, and he'll have to be more involved because, manga doesn't take as many people. So that's why I think that if there's going to be any new series, it's going to be a new anime series in which Toriyama is just like a creative director or maybe just scriptwriter or something where he doesn't have to draw as intensely. That's kind of the reason I feel that a new manga series is actually less likely than a new anime series.
I completely agree with that.
I agree 100%. Black and Fist. I want to destroy Black and Fist now because he stole every word that I wanted to say out of my mouth. Thanks. Thanks.
You're welcome, Kwame.
Okay, well, we wanna. Before I end this, do you guys have any last final words? Wanna wrap up?
Well. It's about that time.
I just want to say I enjoyed this topic, Rhymestyle, and I'd be happy to join you on your channel anytime.
This is a fun one.
As a matter of fact, you've given me a topic idea that we could do right after this, Rhymestyle, so stay tuned. But as far as this video goes,
make sure. Wait, before you do the outro,
oh, sorry.
I was going to say also, make sure you guys check out both Black and Fist and Kwame. I'm sure you guys know who they are, but in case you are new to their stuff, subscribe to them. I will link their stuff in the description below. Make sure you go punch all the like buttons on their videos because they're freaking awesome. And they have amazing content. And of course, if you guys like Dragon Ball Z, then you'll especially like their stuff. But, Kwame, why don't you go ahead and kick us off with the legendary outros.
Thank you so much, Rhymestyle. But before I close it, Black and Fist, you have to say yours first.
Nah, man, just do yours. Just do yours. It's better that way.
And please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys.